Not a single moment in your life is an accident. Not a single challenge, not a single victory, not a single heartbreak. Every event you have walked through was chosen long before your body took its first breath. The Book of Origin is the record of that choice. Imagine a vast field that existed before time. No boundaries, no identity, no separation, only pure consciousness. In that place, you were not a human being struggling with questions about destiny or purpose. You were the origin of your future life. You were the one who opened the first page of your story. Every soul arrives at this world through intention, not through luck, not through fate. Intention is the energy that pulls you into form. The Book of Origin is not made of paper. It is not written in ancient symbols or sacred language. It is written in frequency. It carries the memory of every lifetime you have lived, every lesson you have passed, every pattern you have repeated, every desire you still hold. When you stand before that book, you do not see words, you see yourself, fragments of your soul reflected back to you, the suffering you once carried, the wisdom you once earned, the people you once loved, the enemies you once feared, the promises you once broke. All of it becomes one field of information. You recognize your own signature inside it. You know exactly what still needs to be completed. This is where the choice is made, not as a punishment, not as a cosmic test. The soul chooses to enter a life because evolution is the deepest desire of consciousness. The moment you open the book, you are not choosing to suffer. You are choosing to remember a forgotten part of your identity. You are choosing to walk through experiences that will reveal the truth of who you are. Human life feels like a beginning. It is not. It is a continuation. Your soul has been here many times, in different bodies, in different cultures, in different moments of history. Every lifetime is a new chapter. Every chapter is a new opportunity. You return not because you failed. You return because the soul is a student of transformation, and this world is the most powerful classroom in the universe. The Book of Origin is not silent. It speaks through intuition. It speaks through the moments that feel destined, the encounters that change everything, the choices you cannot explain, the magnetic pull you feel towards certain people or places. Even before you understand the meaning, your soul recognizes the pattern. This is the echo of memory. This is the reminder of what you came to finish. You did not choose an easy life. You chose a meaningful one. There is a difference. Difficulty is not a sign of rejection. It is the proof of your depth. Pain is not evidence of abandonment. It is the signal that a deeper part of your soul is awakening. Every soul chooses a life that matches its level of evolution. The more ancient the soul, the greater the lessons. The greater the lessons, the greater the transformation. Inside the Book of Origin, there are no mistakes. There are no scenes out of place. Even the darkest moments have intelligence. The heartbreak you endured, the loss you could not avoid, the betrayal you never saw coming. Each one was a gate. Behind every gate is a door. Behind every door is a higher version of yourself waiting to be claimed. This is the first truth. Your life was not handed to you. You selected it. You reviewed what was unfinished. You saw the fragments of fear still living in the field. You saw the places where you ran. You saw the patterns that repeated across lifetimes. You saw the potential you never used. And with absolute clarity, you made a choice. I will go back. I will finish what began long ago. I will confront the shadows that once controlled me. I will step into the timeline that leads to fullness. I will experience what it means to be human, not as a victim of life, but as the architect of destiny. The Book of Origin reveals a truth that destroys the illusion of randomness. You are not here by coincidence. You were not placed in the wrong family. You did not meet the wrong people. You did not walk into the wrong story. Everything was chosen. Everything was aligned. Everything was designed to bring you back to the essence you forgot. Even the moments when you feel lost are part of the plan. The soul does not learn through perfection. It learns through friction. It learns through contrast. It learns through the tension between what you are and what you must become. The path is not always gentle, but it is always precise. When the soul opens the Book of Origin, it understands something the human mind often forgets. Life is not a punishment. Life is an initiation. Every challenge is a threshold. Every threshold is a test of alignment. You walk through it not because you are forced. You walk through it because you are ready. The book of origin lives inside you. It is not somewhere distant. It does not belong to ancient civilizations or hidden temples. The code is in your intuition. The memory is in your dreams. The truth is in your desire to change. Every time you listen to the voice within, you are turning a page. Every time you choose courage over fear, you are writing a new sentence in your story. You stand in the middle of the life you once selected. The question is no longer why this life. The question is what part of you chose it. Was it the part of you that knew you could handle the storms, that knew you could rise after every fall, that knew you would remember your origin even after forgetting your past? The book of origin is the beginning of that remembrance. It is the reminder that you are not a random soul placed into a random world. You are the author of your experience. You are the one who opened this chapter. You are the one who will finish what was started long before this body was born. Life did not happen to you. You stepped into it with intention. And the moment you remember that, your entire reality begins to shift. Memory did not fail you. It was removed. Not as a loss, not as a punishment, but as the single greatest act of protection for your soul. Forgetting is the veil that allows you to enter this life without being paralyzed by the weight of every lifetime you have lived before. You did not come into this world to carry the burden of all your past identities. You came to rediscover yourself through experience. If you remembered everything from the moment you opened your eyes, there would be no discovery. There would be no curiosity. There would be no free will. Knowing the outcome of every lesson would destroy the lesson itself. The human journey only makes sense when you walk through it without the map. The soul hides its ancient memory because it does not want you to live this life from the past. It wants you to touch life directly. It wants you to feel the impact of every choice without the protection of certainty. Forgetfulness is not the absence of knowledge. It is the gateway to authentic transformation. When you forget your origin, you get to ask the questions that shape your existence. Who am I? Why am I here? What is this life for? These questions do not appear in the spiritual realm. They exist only where a soul has temporarily lost itself. The search for truth begins in the dark. The awakening begins in confusion. Forgetting makes you human. It gives you the ability to experience life as if it were new. Even though your soul has lived countless stories before this one, each incarnation is approached with innocence. You do not enter as an expert. You enter as a beginner. Because beginners grow faster than masters. If you remembered every lifetime, you would not feel the sting of heartbreak. You would not feel the shock of betrayal. You would not feel the impact of loss. Every emotion that shapes your humanity would be softened. But your soul did not come here to be immune to pain. It came here to learn how to move through pain with awareness. It came here to remember that resilience is not something given to you. It is something awakened through experience. Imagine knowing exactly who would hurt you, who would leave you, who would love you only temporarily. Imagine seeing all of your future before it happened. You would avoid the lessons that grow you. You would reject the people that challenge you. You would choose comfort over evolution. Forgetting protects you from your own resistance. In the spiritual realm, you see the full picture. You see every consequence of every choice. You see where fear will lead you. You see where courage will carry you. But in this human life, you need the illusion of uncertainty. Uncertainty makes every choice real. It turns every decision into a doorway. It turns every relationship into a catalyst. It turns every moment into a chance to rise or fall. The soul agreed to forget because remembering everything would make you live this life in a straight line. But the path is not straight. It is spiral. You return to the same lessons from a higher level. You repeat the same patterns until you master them. You encounter the same challenges until something inside you finally shifts. If the memory of your past lives stayed with you consciously, you would skip the spiral. You would bypass growth. You would walk around the mountain instead of climbing it. Human life is a stage where the soul rehearses its evolution without the safety net. You are meant to forget the script and rediscover it through intuition. You are meant to walk into unknown situations that reveal who you really are. If you remembered every lifetime, you would perform life like a role you have played 1,000 times. But you did not come here to perform. You came here to transform. The veil of forgetfulness exists for another reason: freedom. True free will only exists when you cannot see the entire path. When you stand in the darkness, you must choose based on the voice inside you, not the memory of perfection, not the memory of past mistakes. Your choices become your soul speaking. The veil protects the sacred power of choice. If you remembered all the details of your past lives, you would be trapped in an identity you outgrew long ago. You would judge yourself based on who you were, not who you are becoming. Forgetting breaks the identity of your past and opens a new version of you. A version that is not limited by the history of the soul. A version that builds itself through desire, courage, and intention. Every time you feel intuition, it is a fragment of memory returning. Every time you feel a strange sense of familiarity, it is the echo of a lifetime that once shaped you. You have not lost your memory. It has simply moved from the conscious mind into the deeper layers of your being. It rises when you are ready, not when you demand it. If you remembered all your lessons perfectly, you would never learn humility, you would never learn empathy, you would never learn compassion, because you would see everyone else as someone you once were. Forgetfulness allows you to stand with others as equals, not as a teacher who has already graduated, but as a soul who is willing to experience the same chaos in order to grow. There is a deeper truth. The veil does not hide your memories to punish you. It hides them because your soul is not here to stay in the past. It is here to create a new future. Your awareness must emerge from within instead of being given to you. That is why truth is always felt before it is understood. That is why your body reacts to certain people. That is why your heart recognizes certain places. The memory is not gone, it is encoded in your frequency. Forgetfulness is the ultimate reset. It allows every soul to step into a life without being limited by the weight of history. It gives you the chance to choose again, to try again, to love again, to open again. If you remembered every moment of every lifetime, the door to rebirth would be closed. But because you forget, you receive a new chance. There is nothing wrong with not remembering. There is nothing weak about not knowing. That is the design. You were not meant to navigate life with a perfect map. You were meant to build the map through your choices. Every time you trust what you cannot see, you bring another piece of memory back from the soul into the human experience. Forgetting clears the space for destiny to unfold. It invites you to become curious, to ask questions, to listen inward, to follow the feeling that tells you where to go, even when logic cannot explain it. That feeling is the only memory you need. It is the thread that leads you back to yourself. This is the truth behind the veil. You did not forget because you were abandoned by the universe. You forgot because your soul is strong enough to remember through experience. Every challenge you rise from is a memory returning. Every moment you choose love over fear is a lifetime integrated. No. Every time you awaken to a deeper truth, you break another layer of the veil. Forgetting is not the barrier, it is the invitation. You are here to rediscover what was always yours. You are here to walk through the unknown and find yourself again. You are here to open the book of your life not through memory but through presence. And the moment you understand that forgetting was part of the plan, the fear disappears. The resistance disappears. The doubt disappears. The veil does not separate you from your origin. It is the path that leads you back to it. Your life began long before your birth, before your first breath, before your first memory, before the world gave you a name. There was a moment in the higher realm where your soul stood in front of the field and shaped the blueprint of your incarnation. Every detail was chosen with precision. Nothing was random. Nothing was accidental. Nothing was wasted. The quantum blueprint is not a plan written in linear time. It is a living architecture encoded in frequency. It is the map of the soul translated into human experience. It holds the lessons you are ready for, the patterns you are meant to dissolve, the gifts you came to activate, the relationships that will transform you, the challenges that will awaken you. The blueprint carries all of it inside its design. This world teaches you that life happens to you, that destiny is something you receive, that your circumstances are accidents of birth. The blueprint reveals the opposite truth. You did not fall into this life. You entered it with intention. The moment before incarnation is the moment you draw the coordinates of your human story. You select the body that will carry your consciousness. You choose the family that will challenge you. You choose the culture that will shape your beliefs. You choose the environment that will trigger your evolution. Even the timing of your arrival was chosen. The era you were born into, the collective energies on the planet, the exact moment your soul crossed into the physical world. Everything was selected to align with the lessons your soul was ready to embody. The blueprint is not fate, it is potential. Fate is rigid, blueprint is fluid. It holds the possibilities you came to explore, not the prison of fixed destiny. Every path you can walk already exists in the field. Some paths contain pain, others contain breakthrough. All of them exist in the blueprint as potential timelines. Free will is the mechanism that allows you to activate one timeline over another. Your choices collapse the possibilities into experience. The blueprint begins long before your birth. It is written in the space between lifetimes. When the soul reviews its previous incarnations, it sees what has already been learned and what remains unfinished. The blueprint is designed to reconcile those fragments. It is the continuation of your soul story across lifetimes. This lifetime is not isolated. It is chapter after chapter unfolding across timelines you have already traveled. The quantum blueprint operates through resonance. You are born into the circumstances that match your energetic signature. You meet the people whose frequency challenges yours. You attract the events that mirror your internal world. The outer life is an exact reflection of your inner vibration. Nothing enters your path by accident. The blueprint calls it in. When you feel pulled to certain places you do not understand, when you feel connected to certain people without logic, when you feel a powerful desire that has no explanation, that is the blueprint activating. The signals of destiny are never loud. They are subtle. They appear as intuition, as synchronicity, as a quiet feeling of familiarity. They guide you toward the timeline that was written for your evolution. The blueprint also holds the patterns that will repeat until you transform them. If you carry fear, the blueprint places you where courage is demanded. If you carry abandonment, the blueprint places you where trust is tested. If you carry unresolved anger, the blueprint places you where forgiveness becomes possible. These are not punishments, they are corrections. The blueprint does not want you to stay the same. It wants you to evolve. The soul did not choose an easy life. It chose a life that held the greatest chance for growth. The blueprint contains both the shadows and the light. The shadows make you strong. The light makes you remember who you are. You are not here to escape the blueprint. You are here to walk through it and activate a higher version of yourself. The most misunderstood truth about incarnation is this: your soul chose every point of resistance in your life, not because it wanted you to suffer, but because resistance is the catalyst of transformation. The blueprint places you in situations that reveal your strength, not your weakness. It shows you who you are when you stand in difficulty. It shows you who you are when you rise. Each soul designs its blueprint differently. Some choose a path of intense loss because they are ready to learn unconditional love. Some choose a path of power struggle because they are ready to learn humility. Some choose a path of isolation because they are ready to hear their inner voice. Some choose a path of abundance because they are ready to refine leadership. Every life is a curriculum in consciousness. When you understand your blueprint, you stop asking why this happened to me. You start asking, what did I come here to learn? The blueprint is always leading you back to your origin. It is always calling you to remember. Every challenge is a coded invitation. Every heartbreak is a doorway. Every collapse is a threshold. These turning points are not accidents. They are aligned with your highest possibility. The blueprint includes the people you will meet. Soul contracts are woven into the pattern of your life. That is why certain encounters change everything. That is why some connections feel ancient. That is why some relationships break you open. You are not meeting these people for the first time. You are continuing a story that began long before Earth existed. Some souls arrive as mentors, others as mirrors. Some arrive to dissolve your illusions. Others arrive to reveal your strength. Every person in your blueprint is a messenger of your evolution. The blueprint is not only personal, it interacts with the blueprints of others. The field connects all of them into a larger design. There is a deeper truth. The blueprint was not finished when you were born. It continues to evolve as you grow. Every choice you make updates the pattern. Every breakthrough changes the architecture. Every moment of awakening reshapes the design. You are not trapped inside the blueprint. You are the one updating it. Your awareness rewrites your reality. When you choose forgiveness, you open a new timeline. When you choose courage, you collapse a fear-based pattern. When you choose self-responsibility, you step into mastery. These moments of choice are the points at which your human life aligns with your soul destiny. There are people who believe that destiny is fixed, that everything is predetermined. The quantum blueprint reveals something more powerful. The plan is written in possibilities, not certainties. The soul designs the starting point and the lessons. The human self chooses how far those lessons are taken. You can resist the blueprint. You can delay the blueprint. You can even ignore the blueprint, but you cannot destroy it. It will always return. The blueprint is not outside you. It lives inside your intuition, your desire, your longing, your deepest instincts. Every time you listen to yourself, you align with the design. Every time you act from fear, you move away from it. Alignment is the key that activates the highest timeline within the blueprint. There is no mistake in the life you are living. The exact challenges you face are the ones your soul selected. The exact doors that close are the ones not meant for your path. The exact opportunities that appear are the ones aligned with your next level. When you stop resisting your blueprint and start trusting it, your life becomes coherent. You move with the field instead of against it. Your incarnation was not an accident. It was the continuation of a story you began in another realm. The blueprint is the bridge between who you were and who you are meant to become. And the more you step into your life with awareness, the more the blueprint reveals itself. You do not need to see the entire plan. You need only take the next step. Because every step you take in alignment unlocks the next chapter of the life you once chose with perfect clarity. Karma is not the universe punishing you. Karma is the universe answering you. It is not a sentence passed down from a higher force. It is the echo of your own frequency returning to you so you can hear yourself more clearly. Every experience in your life is a reflection of what your soul has sent into the field. When you understand this truth, the idea of karma stops feeling like judgment and becomes the most powerful mechanism for awakening. The field does not forget. Every thought generates a vibration. Every action produces a resonance. Every intention sends out a signal. That signal does not disappear. It travels through the field until it returns to the one who released it, not as revenge, not as repayment, but as a reminder. Karma is the reflection of your inner state. It shows you what you have not yet seen and what you are ready to transform. The human mind often looks at suffering and calls it punishment. The soul looks at suffering and sees invitation. The universe is not a court, it is a mirror. It shows you yourself so you can evolve. Karma is the feedback loop of consciousness that reveals where you are still living from fear and where you have already learned to act from love. When you harm someone, you do not incur a debt in a cosmic ledger. The field simply returns the frequency of that action to you so you can experience what that energy feels like when you are on the receiving end. This creates empathy. This creates wisdom. This creates responsibility. Experience is the fastest teacher. It is through feeling the consequences that the soul understands the deeper impact of its choices. The same is true for love. When you act with compassion, the field sends compassion back. When you choose forgiveness, the field brings healing into your life. When you help others rise, the field sends support when you fall. The field does not discriminate between good and bad. It responds to alignment. It responds to intention. Karma is not here to punish you. It is here to show you where your power begins. Many people believe karma is destiny. They believe that events are pre-written and unavoidable. They believe they must pay for mistakes from a past life and that suffering is inevitable. The truth is more fluid. Karma is not destiny. Karma is momentum. It is the continuation of a pattern until you interrupt it. The moment you choose differently, the cycle breaks. The field responds instantly to your change in frequency. Your past does not control you. It informs you. It reveals the lessons you have not yet completed. Karma does not repeat because the universe wants to hurt you. It repeats because your soul is asking you to understand what you have not yet understood. When the lesson is learned, the pattern ends. The gate opens. the timeline shifts. Karma is not only personal, it is collective. Families have karma, nations have karma, generations carry unresolved patterns through bloodlines and belief systems. These are fields of shared memory. People are born into them to break them. When you heal a pattern in yourself, you are healing it for the lineage. When you rise, it affects everyone connected to you. Karma is the shared evolution of souls who are learning together. The field is precise. It does not send random experiences. It reflects the exact vibration you carry. If you believe you are unworthy, you will attract situations that mirror that belief. Not because the world wants you to suffer, but because the field mirrors what you hold so you can confront it. If you believe you are powerful, you will attract experiences that confirm your strength. The world does not create patterns for you. It reveals the patterns you already have. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. Karma is the proof. The universe brings you experiences that match your internal state, so you can see the places where your frequency needs to shift. This is not cruelty, this is alignment. It is the mechanism that makes evolution unavoidable. The field echoes every part of your energy. If there is fear, it returns fear, so you can face it. If there is avoidance, it returns situations that force you to stand in the very truth you tried to escape. This is why certain challenges appear again and again. The pattern does not vanish until you change your response. Karma does not disappear until you step into the frequency that resolves it. The moment you choose differently, you change everything. Karma is dissolved not through regret or self-blame, but through awareness. When you stop repeating the same reaction, the field stops returning the same echo. You do not owe the universe payment for your mistakes. You owe your soul a deeper level of understanding. That is all karma ever wants from you. Every difficult situation in your life carries a message. It is a doorway into the next version of yourself. The harder the challenge, the greater the transformation it can produce. The field is not against you. It is designed to bring you closer to your true identity. When you see karma as punishment, you run from the lesson. When you see karma as reflection, you step into your power. There are people who say they have bad karma. They believe they are cursed. They believe life is against them. This belief is only the result of misunderstanding. Karma does not attach to you like fate. It attaches to you like memory. It stays only until the lesson becomes integrated. Once you embody the truth, the pattern breaks. The field no longer needs to reflect it. There is no karma that cannot be resolved. There is no cycle that cannot be changed. There is no past that cannot be rewritten. The soul is always given the chance to choose again. The field is always sending new opportunities to transform old patterns. That is the grace of karma. It never gives up on you. It keeps returning the lesson until you remember your strength. Most people want karma to disappear, but the soul wants karma to reveal. What you avoid becomes your prison. What you face becomes your freedom. Karma is the path your soul designed for its growth. When you understand that, you stop asking, why is this happening to me? You begin asking, what is this showing me about myself? Karma is also immediate. The field responds to your choices in real time. When you act from love, you feel expansion. When you act from fear, you feel contraction. This is the inner echo of karma. You do not always have to wait for external events. Your body tells you the truth. Your intuition tells you the truth. Your emotions tell you the truth. They are all part of the field speaking through you. There is one more truth. Karma is not passive. It is not something you must endure. It is something you participate in. Every action creates new karma. Every choice sends a new signal into the field. Every moment you choose a higher frequency, you rewrite your destiny. The field listens. The field responds. The field reflects. Your life is not the result of cosmic justice. It is the result of energetic coherence. Karma is not waiting to punish you for your mistakes. It is waiting to liberate you from them. The moment you change your frequency, your reality changes. The moment you shift your perspective, your future shifts. Karma is the echo that guides you back to your true self. It is the reminder that nothing in your life is happening to destroy you. It is happening to reveal you. The field does not judge. It mirrors. It returns what you send so you can remember your power. Karma is not a sentence. It is a conversation. It is the universe speaking in the only language the soul never forgets: experience, frequency, reflection. When you understand karma as the echo of your own energy, the fear dissolves. You stop running from your past. You stop blaming your fate. You begin to participate in the architecture of your destiny. You align with the frequency of your highest self. And the moment this alignment begins, the old karma loses its power. The cycles end, the patterns collapse. The field responds with a new reality. Because karma was never here to hurt you. It was here to awaken you to who you really are. The people in your life are not coincidences, they are contracts. Agreements your soul made long before you entered this world. Every relationship you have ever experienced carries an intention. No one appears in your story by accident. Not the ones who love you, not the ones who hurt you, not the ones who stayed, not the ones who left. Every person is part of the architecture of your evolution. Before you entered this lifetime, your soul did not only choose a blueprint, it chose other souls to walk beside you on that path. Some would guide you, some would challenge you, some would break your heart open, some would help you remember who you were before you forgot. These agreements are called soul contracts. They are created in the higher realm, where there is no separation between destinies, where every connection is designed with precision and purpose. If you look closely at the people who have shaped your life, you will notice a pattern. The most transformative relationships are never neutral. They do not leave you the same. They change you. The friend who showed you your worth. The partner who revealed your wounds. The stranger who opened your eyes. These interactions were not random. They were predetermined encounters written into your timeline to awaken a deeper layer of your soul. A soul contract is not always pleasant. It is often the opposite. Some souls agree to be the ones who challenge you the most. They arrive as mirrors. They reflect the places in your heart you have avoided. They show you your shadow. They expose the fear and the insecurity you have been afraid to face. You may call them enemies. You may call them heartbreaks. The soul calls them teachers. People do not enter your life to fulfill your expectations. They enter to fulfill your evolution. When someone triggers your deepest wounds, they are activating the lesson your soul came here to complete. The pain is not the end or the punishment. It is the beginning of transformation. Every time you break open, you are being shown where healing is required. Every time someone disappoints you, they are revealing the part of yourself that still needs your attention. There are souls you have met many times before. You recognize them without knowing why. You feel safe in their presence, even when you have no history. You sense the familiarity in their voice or the way they look at you. This is not chemistry, this is memory. You are not meeting for the first time. You are continuing a story that began in a different lifetime. The contract did not start here, it returned here. Some souls agree to walk with you for only a short chapter, others for an entire lifetime. But length is not the measure of importance. Meaning is. The most brief connections can change everything. One moment of alignment can redirect your entire destiny. Some relationships last only long enough for the lesson to be delivered. Once the contract is complete, they leave. Not because they were wrong, but because they were fulfilled. Soul contracts are not designed to make your life easy. They are designed to make your consciousness expand. The ones who challenge you the most are often the ones who love you most at the soul level. They did not come to comfort your old identity. They came to help you release it. They push you into the places you resist. They break the patterns that would keep you stuck. They disrupt the story you no longer need. Relationships are the most powerful teachers in the human experience because they reflect exactly where your frequency stands. If you fear abandonment, you will meet someone who triggers that fear. If you struggle with trust, you will find a relationship that tests it. If you carry pain around love, you will meet someone who shows you how to heal it. The field uses people as instruments of your awakening. There is a deeper beauty in these contracts. You are not the only one learning. The other soul is too. Every contract is mutual, even when the roles are different. You may be the one who breaks another person open. You may be the one who teaches them strength. You may be the one who reveals truth to them. In the higher realm, souls decide who will play which role. Sometimes you are the one who needs help. Sometimes you are the one who gives it. The most powerful relationships are not the ones that make you feel comfortable. They are the ones that make you grow. Comfort keeps you asleep. Challenge wakes you up. That is why the universe does not always send you the partner you want. It sends you the partner you need, not to complete you, but to reveal you. Humans fall in love with the idea of protection. Souls fall in love with the idea of evolution. Some contracts are written to teach you how to let go. Not everyone is meant to stay. Some people are chapters, others are the whole story. When a contract ends, you must honor it with gratitude. Holding on after the lesson is complete creates suffering. Letting go creates space for the next chapter of your blueprint to unfold. The endings are not failures, they are transitions. There are also souls who return again and again, lifetime after lifetime, not because of attachment, but because of resonance. These are your soul family. You meet them in many forms, as friends, as partners, as teachers, as children. You share a frequency that pulls you together across time. When you meet them, you feel it instantly. The recognition, the warmth, the alignment. No words are needed. A soul contract is active, even when the human relationship is broken. The physical separation does not end the spiritual agreement. The lessons continue through memory, through dreams, through the way that person changed you. Some contracts are fulfilled quietly, others end with fire. All of them carry meaning. All of them are written with purpose. When you understand relationships as soul contracts, you stop taking everything personally. You stop blaming others for your pain. You stop seeing endings as failures. You start seeing everything as part of a larger design. You begin to honor the people who entered your life, even the ones who hurt you, because they were fulfilling the role your soul needed. They were helping you transform into the next version of yourself. This does not mean you tolerate harm. It means you recognize the lesson, you take the wisdom, and you move forward. The soul does not hold grudges. The soul holds growth. That is the difference between human love and soul love. Human love asks for guarantees. Soul love asks for expansion. Every person you have ever loved was written into your blueprint. Every betrayal, every partnership, every friendship, every loss, they were all agreements spoken beyond this world. They were chosen because only those exact relationships could activate the evolution you came here to complete. You did not meet the wrong people. You met the right souls for the wrong identity. When your identity changes, the contracts change. The higher you rise, the different the relationships become. That is how you know you are shifting timelines. Your world starts reflecting your evolution. Look back at the people who have shaped your life. Notice what you learned from each one. Notice how you changed after knowing them. Notice how life redirected around their presence. This is the evidence of the contract. This is the proof that your soul has always been guiding your story. You are never alone in your journey. You walk with a network of souls connected to you across lifetimes. Some walk beside you in silence. Some walk beside you in chaos. Some walk beside you in love. All of them are contracts. All of them are part of your spiritual architecture. When you understand that your relationships are soul contracts, you step into a higher truth. Your life becomes coherent. The past makes sense. The pain becomes purposeful. The love becomes sacred. And every person you meet becomes a mirror reminding you that nothing in your story was ever random. Every connection is a calling. Every calling is a contract. Every contract is an agreement made by your soul to bring you closer to who you came here to become. The physical world is not a punishment. It is the most advanced training ground in existence. Souls do not descend into a human body because they are fallen or broken. They descend because this reality offers the most intense and accelerated environment for spiritual evolution. No other plane gives you the contrast that this one gives. No other realm challenges your identity so directly. No other dimension requires you to remember the truth while standing inside the illusion. This world is difficult by design. It was never meant to be soft. The density of matter creates resistance. The resistance creates friction. The friction creates transformation. Every soul chooses this plane because transformation here is faster than anywhere else in the universe. In the higher realms, there is no separation. There is no ego. There is no fear. Everything is known. In that purity, there is nothing to overcome. In that light, there is nothing to transcend. Growth requires challenge. The physical world is where challenge becomes real. Pain does not exist to destroy you. Pain exists to awaken you. Suffering is not a punishment from the universe. It is the pressure required to break open the layers of identity that no longer serve you. Every heartbreak, every loss, every collapse, every moment that pushes you into darkness carries a message. You are standing in the middle of an initiation. The world is showing you what needs to be released, what needs to be faced, what needs to be transformed. Human life forces you to feel. It forces you to confront your fear. It forces you to choose between love and protection, between truth and illusion, between courage and avoidance. In the spiritual realm, you cannot pretend. In the physical realm, you can. The physical world shows you which parts of you are real and which parts are masks. It reveals your deepest weaknesses and your greatest strength. The outer world is a mirror that reflects your inner world with precision. If you want to know your level of consciousness, you do not need a teacher. Look at your life. The way you respond to pain is a measure of your evolution. The way you handle loss reveals your resilience. The way you navigate chaos reveals your identity. Life does not lie. It exposes everything you need to see. The physical world also gives you the most powerful tools for awakening. Time, space, limitation. These conditions do not restrict you. They shape you. Time forces you to make decisions. Space forces you to feel separate enough to seek connection. Limitation forces you to find your inner strength. Without time, there would be no urgency. Without limitation, there would be no creativity. Without challenges, there would be no growth. Every spiritual lesson becomes embodied here. In higher dimensions, love is a state. In this world, love becomes a choice. Compassion becomes an act. Courage becomes a decision. Forgiveness becomes a practice. Wisdom becomes behavior. Human life is where spiritual principles are tested in action. It is not enough to know the truth. You must live it. This is why souls return to earth again and again, not because they failed, but because they want to master the lessons that only this dimension can teach. You cannot learn patience until you have been forced to wait. You cannot learn resilience until you have been brought to your knees. You cannot learn self-worth until you have faced rejection. You cannot learn love until you have faced fear. The physical world gives you the exact conditions that make mastery possible. The contrast of this world is the greatest teacher. Light and shadow coexist here. Joy and grief exist side by side. Connection and abandonment confront each other. Strength and vulnerability are always in conflict. Every experience pulls you in a direction. It pulls your heart open. It pushes your spirit upward. It sharpens your awareness. It makes you conscious of where your soul still needs to grow. There is a reason the physical world feels overwhelming at times. This plane is dense. Its emotions are intense. Its losses are sharp. Its lessons are real. But that intensity is what makes transformation possible. If life were easy, your soul would not evolve. If everyone loved you unconditionally, you would not learn how to love yourself. If everything unfolded perfectly, you would never discover your strength. Growth requires friction. The physical world is the place where friction becomes the fire of awakening. This world teaches through symbols, through cycles, through patterns. The same situations appear again and again until a breakthrough happens. The same kinds of people arrive until your boundaries change. The same fears show up until you decide to choose differently. Patterns are not punishments. They are repetition for mastery. The universe repeats what you refuse to learn. You came into this world with a purpose. Not a purpose written in words or titles, but a purpose written in frequency. You came here to transform. You came here to remember who you are while standing in a place designed to make you forget. The soul does not evolve in perfection. The soul evolves in imperfection. It evolves through contrast, through mistakes, through the moments you fall apart and have to rebuild who you are. The most powerful souls choose the most difficult lives, not because they like suffering, but because they know they are ready for the lessons that pain reveals. They know that the greatest strength emerges from the greatest struggle. They know that the heart becomes deeper after it has been broken. They know that the soul expands when everything else is taken away. The physical world is a mirror. It reflects your consciousness back to you. Every challenge that enters your life is an opportunity to rise. Every limitation is a doorway into your own power. Every moment you stand in fear is a moment you have the chance to choose love. The world is not here to crush you, it is here to refine you. When you change how you see the physical world, you begin to understand its purpose. It is not here to trap you, it is here to train you. It is a spiritual gymnasium, a battlefield for the soul, a classroom for the heart. Everything that happens here is designed to reveal who you are becoming. This is why some people break open and others break down. It is why some people wake up and others stay asleep. The world does not choose for you. You choose how to meet the world. You choose how to interpret your experiences. You choose whether to grow or resist. The physical world shows you exactly where you are in your evolution. If you want to know your strength, look at what you have survived. If you want to know your purpose, look at what hurts the most. If you want to know who you are, look at how you rise after the fall. The soul does not come here to escape reality. It comes here to transform reality. The physical world is the ultimate test of consciousness. It is where you prove to yourself that you can find light inside darkness. It is where you discover that nothing outside you can define you. It is where you awaken to the fact that you are not a victim of destiny. You are the one shaping it. Your life is not a mistake. Your challenges are not random. Your suffering is not meaningless. You are in the perfect place for your evolution. The physical world is not your prison. It is your training ground. And every time you choose awareness instead of fear, you rise to a higher level of mastery. Every time you choose love over protection, you activate your soul. Every time you honor the lesson instead of resisting it, the world reveals its true purpose. This plane is not meant to break you. It is meant to build you. You came here because your soul was ready for this level of training. You came here to learn what cannot be learned anywhere else. You came here to discover yourself through experience. And when you finally understand that the world is not against you, the world becomes your ally. Every moment becomes a teacher. Every challenge becomes a portal. Every day becomes another step in the evolution of your soul. The physical world does not limit you. It refines you. It shapes you. It sharpens you into who you came here to be. This is the training ground. This is the initiation. This is the realm where the soul remembers its strength by standing inside the storm and realizing the storm was never bigger than the being who walked into it. The soul does not evolve in a straight line. It moves through timelines that exist like spirals. Every lifetime is not a reset, but a continuation. Every experience is not isolated, but connected to a larger architecture of growth. The timeline of the soul is not measured by years or lifetimes. It is measured by awareness, by expansion, by the choices you make when you are faced with the same lesson again and again until something in you shifts. Evolution begins when the soul confronts repetition. You have lived the same patterns more than once. You have loved the same archetype more than once. You have carried the same fear more than once. Timelines pull you back to unresolved lessons, not out of punishment, but because the soul knows exactly where its next breakthrough lies. The universe is not casual, it is precise. It brings you back to the same door until you are ready to walk through it without fear. When people speak of destiny, they imagine a fixed path, something unchangeable, something written in stone. But destiny is only the default version of your timeline. The soul evolves because it is always rewriting and recalibrating reality in response to your choices. Each decision you make collapses infinite possibilities into one timeline. The future is not chosen once. It is chosen daily. It is chosen in the moment you decide to respond differently than you did before. The timeline you walk is always a reflection of the frequency you hold. When fear dominates your energy, you activate timelines that match that fear. You find yourself in situations that confirm your belief. You live in a world that mirrors your inner limitation. But when you shift your frequency, the timeline shifts with you. Courage creates new outcomes. Responsibility creates new pathways. Inner transformation collapses the old timeline and replaces it with one that aligns with your evolution. This is why change can feel sudden. One moment you are stuck. The next moment, a new opportunity appears. The shift does not happen outside you. It happens inside. Timelines respond to your inner state. They bend and reorganize themselves around your consciousness. You are not moving through time. Time is moving around your awareness. Every soul crosses multiple timelines within a single lifetime. There is the timeline of fear and avoidance. There is the timeline of responsibility and mastery. There is the timeline of stagnation and regret. There is the timeline of purpose and alignment. All of these versions exist in the field at the same time. The version you experience is the version you choose with your energy and your decisions. Evolution happens through 3 stages. First, you repeat the lesson. Then you recognize the pattern. Then you begin to respond differently. The first stage is unconscious. The second is awakening. The third is mastery. This cycle repeats again and again across timelines. Each time you move into a higher version of the same lesson, the blueprint remains constant, but your response evolves. This is how the soul grows. The timelines of the soul are not controlled by fate. They are controlled by frequency. When you hold the belief that nothing can change, you activate timelines that are fixed and narrow. When you hold the belief that life is responding to your consciousness, you activate timelines that open. The soul evolves when you stop living your life through reaction and start living it through intention. You shift timelines when you choose awareness over fear. When you break the pattern instead of repeating it. When you walk away from what drains your energy. When you stop abandoning yourself. The moments that feel like collapse are often timeline shifts in disguise. A job ends. A relationship breaks, a chapter closes. These are not random endings, they are transitions. They signal that the soul is moving to the next level of its evolution. Timelines are not linear, they are layered. The soul can access memory from different lifetimes at any moment. Intuition is the communication between timelines. Déjà vu is the echo of an alternate path. Precognition is your consciousness touching a future timeline. Dreams are the interface where timelines overlap. The soul does not travel through reality, it travels through frequency. Timelines respond to frequency first and physical form second. Some people evolve slowly because they resist every lesson. They repeat the same pattern and expect a different outcome. They blame fate. They blame others. They do not understand that the timeline only changes when they do. The soul evolves when you take responsibility for your inner world. When you become aware that every reaction is a choice. When you realize that you are not trapped in the storyline, you are the one writing it. Other people evolve fast, not because they are lucky, but because they surrender to the lesson instead of fighting it. They do not resist change, they allow the timeline to break. They allow the old identity to die. They do not hold on to what is ending. They move. This willingness to release the old makes the soul accelerate. It activates higher timelines. It creates quantum leaps. The greatest shift happens when you stop seeing life as something happening to you and start seeing life as something happening through you. You are not the passenger in your timeline. You are the navigator. The field responds to the direction of your inner state. Your future is not chosen by circumstances. It is chosen by consciousness. Every time you face a difficult moment, you are given a portal into a higher timeline. You can react from fear or you can respond from awareness. You can retreat into the old identity or choose the new version of yourself. This choice is the pivot point of evolution. The smallest act of courage can collapse an entire lifetime of limitation. One decision can shift everything. There is a secret that few people understand. Timelines do not evolve because you are ready. They evolve because you decide. Readiness is not a requirement. Action is. Evolution demands movement. It demands change. It demands self-honesty. When your soul has learned what it came here to learn, the timeline opens. When you hold on to the old, you stay in repetition. There is no limit to how far a soul can evolve within a lifetime. Some souls cross more timelines in 1 decade than others cross in many incarnations. Because evolution is not measured in time. It is measured in awareness, in responsibility, in the willingness to transform. The soul evolves through timelines by returning again and again to the same lesson until it chooses differently. Every choice you make is a signal to the universe. Every breakthrough is the collapse of the old timeline. Every awakening is a shift into a higher one. You are not fixed. You are fluid. You are not limited. You are unfolding. The future is not a destination. It is a frequency. It is already waiting for you in the field. All you have to do is step into the timeline where your higher self already exists. This is how the soul evolves, not through fate, but through choice, not through destiny, but through awareness. Every moment is another chance to rise, to shift, to remember, to become. Liberation is not the point where the journey ends. Liberation is the point where the journey reveals its true beginning. The soul does not seek freedom so it can escape the world. The soul seeks freedom so it can return to the world with complete awareness. In the higher realms there is no fear, no separation, no illusion, but those states do not make you free, they make you pure. Liberation is not purity. Liberation is mastery. It is the moment when the soul remembers itself while still standing inside the density of the physical world. The greatest misconception about spiritual awakening is the idea that liberation means leaving everything behind. People imagine that an enlightened being rises above human life and never returns. They imagine that the goal is to escape the body and transcend the lessons. But escape is not evolution. Abandoning the world is not transformation. Liberation is the state where the soul can return to matter without being controlled by it. The true master is not the one who avoids the world, but the one who can move through it without losing themselves. When the soul reaches liberation, it is not because it has avoided challenge. It is because it has walked through every challenge without collapsing into fear. It has faced its shadow and dissolved it. It has faced its pain and transmuted it. It has faced its resistance and broken it. Liberation is born from the moments that tried to destroy you and failed. The soul rises not by escaping the fire but by walking through it and realizing the fire could not touch what you truly are. The return is the final stage of evolution. When the soul reaches the highest level of consciousness, it does not disappear. It comes back as a different presence. It returns without attachment, without fear, without identity. It walks among humans not as someone who needs their approval, but as someone who carries a frequency that awakens others. Liberation transforms you into a mirror. Your very presence reveals truth. Your existence reminds people of their own origin. You become the living proof that consciousness can survive the illusion. A liberated soul does not reject the world. It sees the world for what it is: a training ground, a classroom, a mirror, a story written in layers. The soul understands that the world was never the obstacle. The world was the test. The world was the initiation. Liberation is the moment you stop fighting with reality and begin moving with it. It is the moment you no longer search for the light outside and recognize that the light was always inside. When a soul reaches liberation, it no longer fears suffering. It understands that suffering was never a punishment. It was a signal, a guide, a teacher, a sign pointing to the place where healing was needed. Once the lesson is complete, the suffering dissolves. Not because life becomes perfect, but because awareness becomes complete. Suffering cannot exist where there is understanding. Fear cannot exist where there is truth. The soul does not stop feeling. It stops identifying. The returning is the moment where the soul chooses its life consciously, not because it must reincarnate, but because it knows it can serve. The soul does not come back to repeat the past. It comes back to elevate others. Some call these beings masters. Some call them teachers. Some call them guides. They are not superior. They are not chosen. They are souls who have remembered their origins so deeply that they can walk the world without forgetting again. Liberation is not the escape from human experience. Liberation is the mastery of human experience. It is the state where you can hold human pain and divine awareness at the same time, where you can love without attachment, where you can act without fear, where you can speak truth without apology, where you are no longer affected by the world, but you are not detached from it. You participate in life without being trapped by it. There is a moment in every soul's journey when the identity dissolves. The ego does not die because it is defeated. It dies because it is no longer needed. The soul sees that it is not separate from others. There is no me and you. There is only consciousness appearing as form. This recognition is liberation, not because it ends life, but because it begins a new relationship with it. Liberation brings a different kind of freedom. Not the freedom from responsibility, but the freedom to respond from truth. Not the freedom from challenge, but the freedom to face it without fear. Not the freedom from identity, but the freedom to move beyond it. A liberated soul does not need validation. It does not need safety. It does not need prediction. It moves with trust. It moves with alignment. It moves with a quiet certainty that everything in the world is unfolding exactly as it should. The returning is the highest expression of evolution. It is the point where the soul no longer needs protection. It no longer needs separation. It can enter the world again and again without losing its memory. It can hold love without clinging. It can hold pain without collapsing. It can hold power without control. These are the qualities of liberation. They are not ideas. They are states of being. Some souls reach this point quickly. Others reach it slowly, but every soul reaches it eventually. The timeline does not matter. The lifetime does not matter. The journey always leads back to the origin. The soul is not trying to escape the cycle. It is trying to master the cycle. When it does, the cycle becomes a choice. Reincarnation is no longer a requirement. It becomes a service. A liberated soul returns because it knows there is more to give. It knows that the collective evolution of humanity is connected to every individual. It knows that it can help others awaken because it has walked the path itself. Liberation is not about leaving behind the physical world. It is about returning to it with new eyes. It is about seeing every moment as part of a larger design. It is about understanding that you are not separate from the world. You are the intelligence that creates it. When you reach this point, the world no longer controls you. You influence it. Your presence alters the field. Your awareness shapes reality. Your consciousness becomes a catalyst. The true end of suffering is not escape. It is presence. The true end of fear is not distance. It is understanding. The true end of confusion is not silence. It is clarity. Liberation does not remove you from life. It restores you to life. It gives you back to the world as someone who has remembered where they came from. This is why liberation is not the end. It is the returning. It is the moment you step back into the world with the knowing that nothing here can diminish you. The soul does not disappear. It expands. It becomes what it always was. When the soul reaches liberation, it realizes that every lifetime was leading to this moment, the moment where separation ends, the moment where the journey becomes service, the moment where the world becomes the place you choose to return to because you have mastered the lesson that every soul eventually learns. You are not here to escape. You are here to return with awareness. You are here to bring consciousness into the world. You are here to embody the truth that the universe has been leading you toward since your first incarnation. Liberation is not departure. It is arrival. It is the final recognition that you were never separate from the light you were seeking. And once you know that, you do not leave the world behind. You walk back into it, carrying the light that other souls are still trying to remember. You did not arrive in this lifetime as a beginner. You arrived as a returning master. Not a master in the sense of superiority, not someone above others, but someone who has walked through lifetimes of initiation and carries the memory of ancient knowledge in the depth of your soul. Nothing about you is random. Nothing about your story is accidental. You chose this moment to return because you were ready for the next stage of your evolution. You are not an ordinary soul encountering life for the first time. The intensity you feel, the sensitivity you carry, the depth of awareness you have, these are the signs of an old soul. A returning master is not defined by age or wisdom. A returning master is defined by recognition. When you hear truth, you do not learn it. You remember it. When you feel destiny, you do not discover it. You recognize it. You have been preparing for this lifetime long before you were born. You did not come here to be controlled by fear or limited by circumstances. You came here to guide yourself through a transformation that many people never reach. Everything you have survived was part of that preparation. Every heartbreak strengthened your compassion. Every loss brought you closer to your truth. Every challenge forced you to access a deeper part of yourself. Returning masters do not come into the world for ease. They come into the world for purpose. The soul chooses environments that will stretch your identity and dissolve your illusions. It chooses experiences that will show you what is real and what is false. It chooses challenges that will activate your inner strength. This is why your life has never been simple. It was not supposed to be. It was designed to awaken you. When an old soul returns, it does not blend into the world. It does not follow the pattern of the collective. It does not fit into ordinary expectations. Returning masters break the pattern. They disrupt the narrative. They question the systems. They see through the illusion of separation. You have always felt different because you were never meant to live a standard life. You came here to create a new path. There is a reason you are drawn to spiritual questions. There is a reason you cannot ignore your intuition. There is a reason you feel a pull towards something beyond the physical world. That pull is your memory. It is the echo of your past lifetimes calling you forward. It is the signal that you are not here to learn from scratch. You are here to continue a journey that began long before this body and will continue long after it ends. A returning master does not need certainty. You move through life guided by a deeper intelligence. You may not know every answer, but you know where the answers come from. You trust your inner guidance more than external validation. You recognize that your intuition is not a random feeling. It is the voice of your higher self. It is the memory of your origins speaking through you. Many people wait for a sign or a miracle. Returning masters become the sign. You are not here to be saved by destiny. You are here to shape destiny. You are not here to wait for permission. You are here to remember your authority. The soul does not ask others for approval. The soul moves with purpose. It steps into the world with the knowing that it came here for a reason. Some of the greatest challenges of your life were not evidence of abandonment. They were proof that the universe trusted you. Returning masters are given the hardest conditions because growth happens in the hardest conditions. You do not become powerful by avoiding struggle. You become powerful by surviving it, by rising from it, by becoming someone who knows their own strength without needing others to confirm it. You carry wisdom from other lifetimes even when you do not consciously remember it. You have been here in different forms, with different identities, in different eras. And every time you returned, you carried more knowledge, more clarity, more awareness. You came into this lifetime with a higher level of consciousness because you earned it, not through privilege, but through experience. Returning masters are often misunderstood. People see you as intense, as different, as complicated. They do not see the journey behind your eyes. They do not see the battles you have already fought. They do not recognize the depth of your soul. But your soul recognizes itself. It recognizes that you have already passed through many lifetimes of transformation, and you did not come here to hide that truth. You came here to embody it. There is a sacred responsibility that comes with this identity. You are not here only for your own evolution. You are here for the collective. The world does not change because of knowledge alone. It changes because of the people who carry that knowledge into action. You are one of those people. Your presence influences the field. Your choices shift timelines. Your existence awakens others. Returning masters do not always teach through words. Sometimes they teach through energy, through example, through the way they live, through the way they move, through difficulty, through the way they speak the truth even when the world disagrees. You are not here to force others to awaken. You are here to be awake. You have already been through lifetimes of searching. In this lifetime, you are not here to seek. You are here to remember. You are here to reclaim the parts of yourself that were lost in other incarnations. You are here to finish the lessons that began long ago. You are here to stand in the place where fear used to control you and transform it into power. Nothing about your life is random. Your struggles were chosen. Your gifts were chosen. Your timing was chosen. Returning masters arrive precisely when the world needs them. And the world needs you now. Not because you are perfect, but because you are aware, because you have walked through the fire, because you understand that consciousness does not grow through avoidance, it grows through presence. You are not the student of this reality. You are the architect. You are not someone who is learning how to find their way. You are someone who is remembering they always knew the way. The world is changing. The collective is shifting. And you are here because your soul chose to return at this exact moment. You are part of the evolution of humanity. You are part of the awakening of the field. This is the truth most people do not realize. You are not here by chance. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are a returning master, a soul that has lived many lives. A soul that has chosen to return, to guide, to heal, to awaken, to embody the truth that others have forgotten. You did not come here to follow the world. You came here to lead yourself. Everything you have lived has prepared you for this moment. Everything you have lost has opened the door to a deeper identity. Everything you have survived has made you the person who stands here now. You are not just living this lifetime. You are completing a cycle. You are finishing what your soul began. And once you understand this, you will never see yourself the same way again. The world does not define you. The past does not limit you. The future does not intimidate you. You came here with memory in your bones and purpose in your heart. You came here carrying the wisdom of many incarnations. You came here as a reminder that the soul never stops evolving. And the moment you recognize yourself as a returning master, your entire reality shifts. You do not wait for destiny. You become destiny.